Thank you so much for joining us for your morning cup of gratitude. My name is Joel Gackle, and I serve as the Senior Director of Alumni Engagement here at Augustana University. We know right now is a challenging time for so many, and we feel incredibly fortunate to share some of these stories and to bring them into your homes. With me today is Madelyn Reinerts. Maddie is a sophomore from Jamestown, North Dakota, studying communication disorders and sign language interpretation. Thanks for joining us today, Maddie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, we feel incredibly blessed to have our community of donors who really make Augustana a possibility for so many students like yourself. Can you share with us a little bit about your journey of arriving at Augustana?
Yeah, so I looked at quite a few schools actually. Being from Jamestown, there's not a lot of opportunities for my major kind of close to home. So I definitely looked around, and my stepdad is actually originally from South Dakota, attended Augie for a year. So he put it on my radar, and we came and toured, and then I fell in love with Augie. So that's how I came here.
Okay. Communication disorders is something that you have to be really passionate about. How did you land on that major?
Yeah, so back in my hometown of Jamestown, we have a place called the Ann Carlson Center, which is very similar to Lifescape in Sioux Falls. My mom has spent many years working there. She worked there through college, obtained her master's of special ed. So I grew up volunteering and working there. I worked there as a direct support professional for 3 years now. So I've seen firsthand speech therapists at work and the impact that they have. And I just kind of fell in love with the idea that everyone deserves a voice, and being able to be a speech pathologist, I'm able to help assist and provide that for so many different individuals.
You mentioned your stepdad had spent a chapter of his time here at Augie. What was it like for you when you came on campus, took a tour, got to meet with some of the professors? How did that resonate for you?
Yeah, so I guess my stepdad, Scott, explained to me that Augie was a special place, and that I think I've heard that throughout my entire time here at Augie, is that Augie is a special place. Augie is, just so different than anywhere else I had been. And I was actually kind of stubborn. I didn't want to tour any schools that were super close to home. I mean, Augie's not super close by any means, but I came and we walked around, and I actually got to meet one of the professors for my program, Karen Mahan. And I got to sit in on a ComDisc class. I got to sit in on phonetics. And once I met Karen and, met some of the girls in the program, I was like, yep, I have to go here. I have to be with Karen. Karen is the only option anymore. That is it. I kept that to myself. I didn't tell anyone that, but the entire time after that, I was like, yep, this is where I want to go. And it was solely because of Karen and the program. I mean, it was amazing.
In addition to your studies, you're also involved in music, but you're not a music major. Can you share how Augustana is a little bit unique in allowing that to happen?
Yeah, so other schools that I had actually toured, if I wanted to participate in music, especially some of the larger upper level ensembles, I would have had to add in a music major or a music minor. And I actually was deferred from a couple programs of music because I didn't want to be a music major. And then that was really disappointing to me because I had been involved in every single ensemble I could be in high school. So when I toured Augie, I also got to meet with Dr. Svenningsson, who is my choral director now, and talked a little bit. And he was like, yeah, you can audition, and we'll still provide you with scholarships to do that. And you can totally still be involved in whatever ensembles you want to be in while still not majoring. And I think that was a big turning point for me too in my decision to come to Augie, because I needed to go somewhere that I could still sing, and because that was still so important to me. And that was a reason that I had stopped looking at other schools. It's because they weren't as supportive in my decision to still be in both without being a major.
Okay. So in addition to the academic rigor that's in your program and being involved in music, like so many of our students, you are also involved in a whole host of activities. Can you share a little bit about those with us?
Yeah, so this year I decided to apply and take on the role of being a Viking advisor, so similar to an RA type of position. So I am a VA in Solberg, which is a freshman hall. I live on the second floor with an amazing group of 21 girls. It may sound a little intimidating, but it's actually a lot of fun. And yeah, I was nervous about it because obviously COVID has added a whole, realm of possibilities that I was unsure about. But I'm so happy I took the position. I literally love my girls so much, and it has added to my experience at Augie so much more. Like, I have built so many relationships and connections with those girls that I never would have had if I, wasn't a VA. And I also get to be like a big supporter for them. This year, like they had their senior year taken away, and they've never been at college before, and they're also trying to learn how to live through a pandemic at the same time. And like I love it so much. That is added to my experience. Like they'll come knock on my door and talk to me, and they bring me cookies and treats, and it's awesome. I'm also a part of NISLA, which is the Association for Communication Disorders. So through that, we do service projects. We get together, and we recently just did a fundraiser through Flyboy. So we raised money to buy like products and other accessories to use for the therapy that we conduct here in Sioux Falls through the Catholic school systems. So that's a super great group of girls as well. And then the last thing that's probably a really big part of my my adventure here on campus is deaf awareness. So I'm also a sign language interpreting major. And through deaf awareness, obviously we raise awareness about, deafness and people who are hard of hearing, and also do service projects and raise money and just promote, like deaf culture and awareness in general. So that's also super cool.
So cool. Can you share with us a little bit? Many of our donors haven't been able to be on campus this year. Maybe how life looks right now. In addition to that, how life looks differently in an era of COVID, whether it's in music or whether it's in classes or whatever that might look like.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty fortunate with the COVID aspect. A lot of my classes, due to both my majors needing to be so like hands-on and face-to-face, I still get to go to a lot of in-person classes. I won't lie, coming back on campus it's been more stressful, I think, because of COVID, especially because I am in a position to enforce a lot of the new policies and, monitor more of that. But I think Augie has done a pretty good job of making sure that all of us on campus still feel safe and still feel at home, and, that we can be on campus and it's going to be okay and we'll get through it. I know a lot of my professors have been super understanding about all of it. And yeah, I think Augie has been trying to keep it as normal as it can be with still implementing the things that it needs to keep us safe. I know I've talked to my friends at other universities, and they haven't been able to stay on campus because COVID has exploded, or all the universities went completely online and they sit at home all day. And I feel so fortunate that I was able to come back on campus for the semester. Definitely.
Can you take us in really quickly what it looks like to sing in an era of COVID? What is that? How does that look different?
So it's very interesting. We have these special singers masks. I call it my duck mask because I feel like it makes me look like a duck because it's built out so much more than a normal mask. So you have like room to like actually breathe, because that's super important in singing. And specifically, my ensemble meets in the chapel on campus. So there's taped off little spots and we have to sit specifically. And then we're also only allowed to practice in a space for 30 minutes before we have to move to a new area and allow for that exchange of air. Because there's been a whole bunch of studies done that through singing and playing of instruments, the exchange of like air is like so great that it puts you at a higher risk of being infected. So that was interesting. We would sing for 30 minutes and then walk over to Sioux Falls Seminary and sit in their chapel and sing too. But also I think it made you really appreciate the time that you have put into your ensemble, and also appreciate just music in general, because it's something that still can bring us together during this time of, insaneness and, you don't know what's going to happen. We also, unfortunately, can't have Vespers this year, but in place of that, we recorded all of our songs, and then we also went to the pavilion and recorded a video, which is currently all under production and will be out sometime in December. So I think it'll be super cool to see that all come together, because Augie is super special in that aspect, as well as that we have access and to the equipment, but not only the equipment, also the faculty that know how to run out of that, because that is not a thing at many universities, especially a university of this size. So yeah. I felt very fortunate to still be able to participate in a way.
That's great. And as I heard more about all the steps that you're taking to be safe in music, I was just so thankful for the faculty who have put all these steps in place to keep you all safe. Could you share a little bit about what your Augustana experience would have looked like without scholarships?
Yeah, so touring other schools, obviously, and getting offers. If I would have stayed in state, like my school probably would have been paid for. I wouldn't have really had to worry through like North Dakota scholarships and in-state tuition and stuff like that. But definitely coming to Augie, I don't think without the scholarships and the donors, it would have been an option for me. I worked very hard in high school to maintain my grades and all that stuff so that I could get the scholarship, especially in state, because I thought maybe that was the route that I was going to have to take due to finances. And when I got to sit down with the admissions and they're like, yep, nope, we'll figure it out. Like, if you want to come here, we'll make sure that we can work it out for you. And on top of that, like the music scholarships that I've been provided, even though I'm not a music major, like also added to that fact. And having the opportunity through being a VA to have more of, the cost taken care of, like it definitely lessens the burden. Like I don't work during this semester, so I can focus on being a double major and being in music and all of my activities. And I would not be able to do that without my scholarships. There's like absolutely no way.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our community of supporters and donors who help make these scholarships possible?
Yeah, I know I mentioned earlier that the phrase Augie is a special place has been repeated to me multiple times. And I think that rings true. And that rings true even now through COVID, but also like because of donors, Augie still gets to be a special place. And we get to see, that in all areas, not just, in my major specifically or just in music, but I think everyone that comes here feels that it has that sense of a special place, and that wouldn't be able to be a thing without donors or without, supporters in general. So Augie continues to be a special place because of people like, that donate and that support Augie, even through times as crazy as this.
Well, Maddie, thank you so much for joining us and reminding us all that we have to be grateful for. I wish everyone blessings. And until next time, thank you so much. And you have a great day. Bye.